I'm only gonna say one thing. Favorite shirt. You know who I'm talking to. Let's go.
Friday was a very good day. It ended a good week for the stock market. The S&P posted its longest winning streak in 20 years. The Dow posted its first 9-day winning streak since December 2023. But it's kind of like, I view the market as constantly sending signals. They're like, okay, tell us that a deal is coming. Tell us that this thing is going to be over, and we're going to buy. But, it's a reflection of the hope, it seems to me, more than the reality of what's happening actually right now. Yeah,
So anything that Trump says, the market will bounce off of what he says. So that is something to worry about, but then on the same token, is it? Because then all of a sudden he just has to come out and say, oh, I'm done with this, and then it's going to be better. I don't know how that's going to work.
I think, one more shrug and you could see the markets respond conversely. So I think you're right. But Trump made some very specific and grandiose promises, and they're unlike other promises that he made. They're unlike the Mexico will pay for a wall promise. They're unlike the I have definitive proof that Obama was born in Kenya promise. These are about your bottom line at home.
He made that promise that Obama was born in Kenya? Y'all telling me, I ain't gonna say he racist, but I'm gonna say he racist. I don't know, that's just a weird promise to make. I don't know, what was the point of that? You didn't say any other president was, you didn't say Biden was born anywhere else. Why'd you assume Obama was?
Promises he made, your prosperity. And when you mess with people's money, people tend to feel a way about it. Just ask two one-term presidents, George H.W. Bush and Herbert Hoover. George H.W. Bush famously says, read my lips, no new taxes. When he went ahead and raised taxes, he was punished for that in the election. Herbert Hoover promises a chicken in every pot. The Depression comes, he can't right the ship. He's punished for that because the economy is different than every other issue.
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter, economic malaise. I mean, the American people give Trump a lot of leeway on his promises. I think on this, though, they're going to take him real seriously.
Yeah. Well, a couple of things. Number one, I think he promised a lot of that stuff, and he promised it almost immediately. And there was a lot of faith in him as some sort of economic wizard. He's a businessman, the art of the deal, whatever have you, that he would be able to come in and he had a plan to fix what people were complaining about, which was high prices, economic instability, things like that. But I think it goes actually further than Trump. The Republican Party has been able to convince Americans over the past 15, 20 years, 30 years that they were better on the economy than the Democrats were. And I think that if Donald Trump, I think that he can severely injure that notion with making people go through a lot of economic pain right now because they voted directly on this issue, directly for relief. And if they don't see it, I think he could erode a lot of faith that Americans have in the Republicans, period.
I've been saying that for a while. I've been wondering, like, after Donald Trump, everything that he's going to do, how is the Republican Party ever going to recoup from it? How are they ever going to recoup from it? Like, I mean, blatant lies, blatant policy changes, miscommunication of what's going on. Everyone's confused. CEOs even confused. His own people in his party are asking questions. It's just all over the place, reckless policies and leadership. And the question is, like, how is anybody who comes in after him going to be able to battle that? I was wondering the same thing for, like, the Liberal Party in Canada, too. Like, I was wondering how anybody's going to come behind Justin when Justin wasn't liked as much as people think he... I don't know if you guys know that, but Justin wasn't liked throughout Canada. And they get the Liberal Party in, and it's like, how can anybody recoup what Justin did, you know? And I think that's the same thing that's going to happen with Donald Trump if you know, well, the last couple of Republican presidents that did tariffs, like the Swahili tariff, we didn't see another Republican for another, 60 years after that. So, yeah. I mean, I really don't know how that's going to go. But another thing I want to say, right? I think it's interesting. This is off topic, but it's still on topic. News, right? Whether I'm watching CNN or whether I'm watching Fox, right? I know that people say that the networks are biased, but are they? They're both reporting the news. Literally, they both are reporting the news. Well, this is news.
Look, I'm already seeing from companies warnings to their customers. New prices go into effect May 15th. New prices go into effect May 30th. So right at this moment, we're not even there yet, but it's coming very, very quickly. Prices are going up for sure.
I think that the market's going to be the one that tells us what and where that happens with. But I think for the longer term of Trump's economic plan here, you're about to see a little bit of a shift in it right now. Not only because you're hearing about China possibly coming to the table, and the last couple of times that's happened, that has lifted the markets. Any indication a deal could be coming, everybody gets a little excited. But in the Capitol right now, they're going through budget reconciliation. If they get this tax deal done, now I understand they want to do it in one big beautiful bill, and as the Hill dork I am, I think the fact that you have two budget vehicles available to you gives you double the power and opportunity to get big economic policy done. Everything needs to have a budgetary impact in order to beat the filibuster in the Senate, so it's very close language. So I appreciate the fact that they should use two bills, but they get this tax work done, it will help alleviate the work that needs to get done on trade and tariffs and take some of the pressure off of those points. And it's happening right now in the Capitol, and it's not being discussed about.
I don't know. I mean, can I just say I don't buy that? Oh, I don't buy.
I'm confused. Which
no,
part?
I don't buy the idea that tax cuts, which are generally going to be future facing, are going to alleviate the pressure on American pocketbooks, which they will start feeling as soon as this summer.
Well,
and so that's my issue, is that I think that that's a very good, like, theoretical, like, Washington talking point, but people are going to be going to the store to buy things, or going online on Amazon to buy things, and the prices are going to say double what they were saying before, and I don't think tax cuts is going to have an impact on that anytime in the
I will say one thing about tax cuts, though. I will say one thing about tax cuts, though. If those don't...
You guys are loud with the chips bags. Can you guys go back to the back? Anyways, so, yeah, she has a good point. Like, I don't think tax cuts are going to change anything. I don't think the tax cuts are going to change anything at all.
Get extended, prices will go up.
Specifically because the prices are going to go up. The prices going up does not make tax cuts any better for anybody. It doesn't. It literally doesn't. Like, it doesn't. It gives us more money, but is it enough money to cover the amount that the prices are going to go up?
The American people. That will be the largest tax hike on the American people in history. And the people who got the most out of those tax cuts were the middle class.
I'm just talking about in the here and now. I think my issue is that basically you're saying to businesses, we're going to keep the status quo, right? Great. Mm-hmm. But they're also still getting slapped across the face with tariffs that are hitting their profits.
I think what you're
talking about, on top of that, the regressiveness of the tariffs is going to hurt consumers.
But I think you're making a sort of a macro point, where if this happens on the Hill, it will have an impact that could affect the whole economy in a positive way. And the other thing is a micro impact in my home, right? I'm going to feel it in my wallet. I'm going to feel it in my home. I'm going to feel it in my bank account, my retirement accounts, my gas tanks. I think both can be true.
Yeah, but
the one that voters
matters the most.
Well, sure.
Right?
Like, for midterms.
These tariffs are going to stick? You think they're going to stick?
I do. I think he's so he's so stubborn on this, and he's wanted this for so long. He's ignored so many economists. He's ignored the whole of the Republican Party that used to be against this. He has to see it through now. I don't think he's going to back away.
I think it might go down.
That sucks. Yeah, you didn't do enough of your due diligence. You just hopped right into it, and like you've been saying this for decades. You're going off of William McKinley, and now you have to walk all the way with a promise that could possibly crash the global economic economy. And yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy. My arm is losing the tightness though. Anyways.
It may not be 145, but I think even, let's say it's 75%.
That's still a lot.
That's still huge. That's a huge tax increase.
I'm going to say something pretty elementary here, but when I think about all of this stuff, I think about like a gym or like Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig. Let me tell you what I mean.
Oh boy.
All right.
Okay.
So when they want to sell you on something, listen. When they want to sell you on something, they sell you on
pass me the donuts while he's saying this.
And before and then after, right? They show you a person, and then they show you how great this person looks. Why do they show you how great the person looks? because there's going to be a lot of pain that you're going to have to go through to get to where that person is. You're going to have to give up your favorite foods. You're going to have to go to the gym. You're going to have to do all kinds of things that are hard to do, right? The president is telling Americans to do things that are hard to do, but he doesn't have a fully formulated after picture. He doesn't have a picture of the economy or their lives that he can sell to them in a simple and a digestible way that makes someone go, I want to go to the store and pay more for goods. I think that it is worth it, the tariffs or whatever. And the reason why he doesn't have it is because I don't think it can really be articulated in the way that
But he
he's
didn't
pointing
need
out.
it. He got voted in without it.
Well, he
Just
was
on the promise.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would argue he didn't really actually promise this level of tariffs because he didn't.
Well, he didn't.
Okay. But I follow you,
I got you.
on it.
Yeah, but he did paint a picture. He painted a picture for the people that were there, but the people didn't expect what he was going to do. They didn't know he was going to fire a bunch of people. They didn't know that he was going to. Oh shoot! Ugh. They didn't know that he was going to fire a bunch of people. They didn't know that. You know, well, they kind of did. They just didn't know it was going to be a bunch of poor people, I guess. They knew tariffs were coming, but they didn't. Yeah, the level of tariffs that were coming, but. Yeah, he hasn't really painted a picture of what America would look like with everything done the way he wants it to be done. He's just said it's going to be called the golden age of America. We're going to bring back jobs and all kind of stuff like that. But what does that look like? People who are way more intelligent in these topics understand that, like, what nobody wants to go back into factories, and most companies can't afford Americans, so they're going to find some other place where it's cheaper. I don't know. It's a lot going on here. But hey, I'm out.